Эй, друзья, всем привет, с вами Никита. Наступает утро, и мы отправляемся в поход. Ну как в поход? В расследование. И у нас есть пометка проверить, кто у нас тут может чеканить монеты. Идем на нее. Так. Заодно это, скорее всего, будет тот кузнец, да? Это должен быть этот кузнец, который всем спать не давал, как нам сказали. О. Но мы были уничтожены забором. Ну, хотя бы не просто веткой. Я так понимаю, мне в эту дверь. Так. И наверх. О, так я же с тобой уже общался, да? Ты мне эту корону делал.
God be with you.
А,
How goes the work, Master?
Getting there, getting there. You need something, my boy?
What are you doing here, anyway?
You're in an engraver's shop, my boy. We're engraving, of course.
Yeah, but engraving what? And what's it used for?
Oh, we engrave wood and stone as well as metal. Here in the monastery, it's mostly about decoration.
You've got quite a large workshop, Master. You don't do all the work alone, surely?
I'm usually here with my apprentice, Florian. Of course, by simple observation, you'll note that this is not currently the case, and I'm here alone, which means that either I'm a liar or something out of the ordinary has occurred.
I see. I think. So what's happened to Florian?
He shares the fate of the pharaohs for today. The fifth scourge of Egypt did smite him, the plague, or so his message advised me.
Jesus Christ, the plague?
Do remain calm. I'm quite certain the plague from which Florian is suffering wasn't a judgment from on high, or if it was a judgment on excessive drinking. I'm told such an ailment can be of truly biblical proportions.
понятно.
What's he like, your apprentice, Florian?
I'm afraid that his exuberant youth has taken its toll. He's been acting strangely of late. I fear he has delusions of persecution.
I don't really know what you mean, at all.
Recently, for example, he told me that someone was following him. And the very next day he bought a padlock from the blacksmith and locked up his chest, as though I would ever sneak into it. In any case, why the interest? Are you looking for him?
Something like that.
May I ask why?
Ну,
He owes me money.
Naturally. Dice or boozing, was it? Pray do tell.
Both.
Sodom and Gomorrah are too good for the boy. Here you go. I'll dock his wages.
ой, еще и заработали. Ладно, я сам разберусь.
Thank you, Master, you're most kind, but I'd rather get it from him myself.
If you think he'll have anything to give, please yourself. About your question, you'll find him at home, no doubt feverishly dying. He sleeps in the baker's cellar.
Ah, thank you. Does Florian have any enemies?
A man such as he certainly owes money at every turn, and the parents of local girls are undoubtedly displeased with his attempts to propagate. However, most recently it was that fury from the baths who accosted him in quite a spectacular rage.
Ага.
A woman from the baths? What did she do?
The harpy nearly tore all Florian's hair out. I don't frequently feel sorry for my ne'er-do-well apprentice, but on that occasion I made an exception.
Do you have any idea why she did it?
She was screaming about some girl, some flighty bathmaid, Esther. I would say that Florian had felt the joys of spring and acted accordingly, although one would have thought they'd be used to that sort of thing at the bathhouse.
Thank you. I'll leave you to your work.
Но, надеюсь, мания преследования этого Флориана была просто так. От того, что он пьяный. И он сейчас реально умирает от похмелья. А не от того, что ему ножом по пузе поводили. Надо узнать еще, кто работает с медью. Ты?
How are you, Henry?
Не похоже. А, у меня как раз на кузницу метка стоит. Это должен быть он. Больше некому просто.
God almighty. Has something happened?
Do you work any copper here, Master Blacksmith?
Why'd you ask?
Ну,
I'd want to commission you to make something.
Then you best go elsewhere. I never use copper.
Aha. So back to that copper, Master Blacksmith.
What? I thought I told you I don't work with copper.
Aha.
ага. Может быть, ты?
I'm honored that a knight such as you take...
А, значит, не ты.
Are you serious?
Ну, похоже, у нас просто нет выбора, и мы должны поверить ему. Он с медью не работает. Но нам все равно сюда, значит, проверяем вот этого кузнеца. Хозяйка купальни. Идем. Просто идем по точкам. Так, только башкой не врежься, а. Чё часто ты врезаться начал? Я же почти вошел в занос, ну чего ты? Хорошо, что это как минимум... Так, аккуратно. Хорошо, что это не тратит наше здоровье. И не калечит. Было бы очень так грустно. Стоп. О. Так. Ты.
God be with you, Henry. Across the skies, he loses his way.
Колись.
Greetings, good night. How may I...
Do you ever work with copper here?
No, and even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Zach from the monastery craftsman's yard has bought out all the copper.
То есть это все-таки он. Ах ты ж подлый обманщик. Ты мне сразу не понравился. Купальня подождет. Нехорошо обманывать. Надо ему подсказать, чтобы он больше так не делал. Если что, лошадью по нему проедусь. Если она не застрянет в заборе в очередном. Так, аккуратно проезжаем, не врезаемся. Слушай,
So back to that copper, Master Blacksmith.
What? I thought I told you I don't work with copper.
That's not what I heard.
What?
I was told in town that you bought all the other blacksmith's copper.
I'm being made a fool of yet again, it seems. Anything else? I still have work to do.
то есть не хочешь, да, колоться? О,
Your father says you don't work any copper.
We don't.
I've heard differently around town. They say your father's bought up all the copper to be had.
Are you calling me a liar? Or my father? You're asking for it, boy.
он неплохо так настроен воинственно, и похоже, мне пора помыться.
Just be sure you know what you're letting yourself in for.
Was that a threat? Do you think I'm an idiot?
You don't get it, do you? I don't particularly want to fight with you. I don't have the time or the need to prove anything. So I'll just take my knife and stick it between your ribs. And then I'll keep twisting until you tell me the truth.
Jesus Christ! Are you insane?
Maybe. So are you going to talk?
Just take it easy. You're right.
Генри, ты где там
We
научился,
do
а?
make copper sheets here at night.
Who buys those sheets from you?
I don't know. I've never set eyes on him. Father doesn't like to talk about it.
So why all the secrecy about it?
Father forbade me to talk about it. I don't know why. I didn't ask.
Your father has some serious explaining to do.
Jesus, please don't hurt him.
We'll see about that.
Я тебе только что про нож в ребрах рассказывал, а ты тут просто не бей.
So back to that copper, Master Blacksmith.
What? I thought I told you I don't work with copper.
Да ты что?
Your son put it quite differently.
What's that? What are you blabbering on about?
Don't be angry with him. I didn't give him any choice.
All right. I suppose there's no point lying. We do make copy sheets here, and I wanted to keep it quiet.
Why?
Pays me good money, and the people I do it for. I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of them.
Did they threaten you?
They didn't have to. Just by the look of them, I could say I needed to shut my mouth and do what they wanted.
And did they ever tell you who they were? Do you know where to find them?
I know a little. I'd show some understanding. There's nothing but trouble in it for me. I'll lose the work and be left looking over my shoulder for some thugs to come and burn down my house. Or worse.
If you lie down with dogs, you shouldn't complain about the fleas.
There's no need for threats. We can both benefit here. If I tell you everything I know, you can help me with a certain small matter. One that'll cover up for my loss of earnings.
Серьезно, ты еще об убытках сейчас мне будешь говорить?
Do you know what the penalty is for counterfeiting?
I never give it much thought.
Evidently, because the penalty for counterfeiting is burning at the stake. And I can personally guarantee that when you're standing on that pyre, you'll find a loss of earnings is the least of your concerns.
No, of course you're right. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. It's just that I'm afraid of being left destitute.
So, out with it. What's been going on?
One evening I got a visit from this scruffy beggar calling himself Rapota. He had a yellow cape on and kept whistling to himself. There was a knight with him too, but he didn't give his name. They told me what I had to do, how much I'd get for it, and I had to keep my mouth shut.
And where can I find this Rapota? Or the knight?
I don't know exactly. But I've always left the wagon with the goods behind the monastery, on the hill there, next to a small chapel under a big tree.
Anything else?
No. I swear that's all I know.
Well, that'll do me for now.
Young man, about that matter I need help with. I'll gladly pay you.
First, tell me what's going on.
I recently tried to buy Master Armourer Otto Rabstein's business for my son Vitus, but that old fool wouldn't listen to reason. He said he couldn't understand his legacy being taken over by a clod like my Vitus. Despite the insult, I doubled my offer, but Master Otto still wouldn't budge.
And what is it you need from me?
I thought I'd show Otto that Vitus isn't such a dolt as he thinks, but for that I need someone experienced in combat.
И что ты хочешь?
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
What's your plan?
Otto's busy making a very pretty suit of armor for the bailiff. So I was thinking, if we could show that pretty armor of his is absolutely useless, he'd be disgraced.
And how am I supposed to see to that?
Well, I'd reckon we'd arrange a duel of champions with bludgeons. You'll put on Vitus's armor, and Otto will send his champion in that tin shit of his. You invite the bailiff to watch, and Otto will be made a laughingstock in front of everyone.
But what do I get out of it?
Vitus will let you have the cuirass from his suit of armor, and I'll throw in a few groschen on top.
Sounds good.
And I'm sure a fella like you would be glad to be on good terms with the best armorer for miles around, eh?
That remains to be seen. Do you really think that will work?
Otto's always mouthing off in the alehouse that my young lad isn't worth a damn. Once I show he's just a bitter old bastard spouting hot air, his business will be ruined, and Vitus will reap the reward. What with all the strife in the country these days, there'll be no end of work for a good armourer.
Agreed. I'll get to work on it.
Wonderful. Go to Otto first and talk him into it.
Then go to the bailiff so he can announce it and get spectators. The more people see it, the better. We'll bring the armor to you at the combat arena.
Но что-то мне подсказывает, что
Hey, what? Be a bit more.
победим мы точно не из-за доспехов. Из-за того, что мы просто офигительно крутой мечник, да? А не из-за доспехов точно. А, воу, не. Я помню тебя, домик. Царский прыжок. Ну что ж, теперь купальня. Еще и оббегать придется, да? Ну. А мы выведем всех на чистую воду. Купальня.
I hear you're at odds with Apprentice Florian.
At odds? I'll give you at odds. It's that sod's fault they took my Esther. Poor girl. I shudder to think what's become of her.
Похитили.
What exactly happened?
This man came in wanting a bath, and Esther with it. She doesn't normally offer that kind of service, but I didn't see the harm, so I sent her in to him. And suddenly I hear screams. So I run out, and I see the bastard pulling her out of the tent and shoving her into a boat.
I'm sorry they took her, but what exactly has it got to do with Florian?
They shouted at me to tell Florian that when he wises up, he'll get the girl back.
I assume that Florian knows this, Esther.
You know village girls. They don't get much of a choice. Every other knave has a turnip for a brain, and if they don't, they're relatives. And then some young dandy turns up who writes her little poems. What's the poor girl to do? And this is how it ends. She should have stuck with the turnip heads.
Where can I find this Florian? I'd like to ask him a few questions.
He works in the engraver's workshop at the monastery craftsman's yard. And if he's not there, he'll be holed up like the rat he is in the cellar he rents from the baker. He's afraid of me, for sure.
What did the bailiff make of it?
Don't even get me started on that. He's another fine... I won't say what. I told him everything, but he says he won't do nothing about it.
How's that then?
He wouldn't tell me to my face, of course. But people here don't think much of us. There's some as reckon my Esther deserves what she got. Poor girl.
Ой, да чтобы они все воняли постоянно, когда ходили.
It sounds like you
Мойщице
were
им
close to
нравится, а?
Esther.
I loved her like my very own. She came to me as an orphan, like a wolf child she was. I raised her and taught her and gave her a job, and now she's gone. Who knows if she's even alive?
Не волнуйся.
Lord Almighty!
А мы все поправим. Но не прямо сейчас. Возможно, небольшую дуэль устроим тут. Так. Пекарь будет ближе. А вход? Ну-ка закроем дверь, чтобы нас никто не видел. Ну привет.
I'm glad to see you.
You look quite sprightly for an invalid.
What? Who the hell are you?
My name's Henry, and I'm making inquiries for Sir Radzig Kobyla.
And what do you want from me?
Угадай.
Straight to the point then? Alright. I've been investigating counterfeit money, and the trail led me straight to you. Does the name Rappator mean anything to you?
I don't know. Maybe?
Don't bother. I know you know him. You make the punch dice for the counterfeiters. How do you hand them over? Do you know where their workshop is?
I can't say anything. I'll deny everything and you've got nothing on me. No evidence, just accusations.
It's got something to do with that girl, hasn't it?
How do you know?
That doesn't matter.
No, I suppose not. I didn't want to get involved, I swear. Those bastards kidnapped Esther. If I don't cooperate, they'll kill her.
I'm sorry about that.
Me too. Listen, I'll tell you everything, I promise. But only if I know that Esther's safe.
What, so I'm to go searching for her in the woods?
I know where they're keeping her, but nobody will help me. And what can puny little me do faced with those strapping great villains?
Look, Florian, I'm sorry for what you're going through, honestly. But I'm not the only one who's after these people. As soon as they get wind of something, they'll be out of here and Esther will be gone with them.
If Rapiter finds I've told you anything, they'll kill her.
Not if I catch Rapiter first. He's here in town, isn't he?
Yes, he is. They found me in the tavern one evening, caught me when I went to the shit pile. They started to badger me about working for them.
They?
Yes, Rapiter. And a knight they called Sir Jezek.
And then what?
They explained what they wanted from me, and I told them to sod off.
I'm guessing that didn't go down too well.
It wasn't all that bad. They just threw me on the dung heap and left. I thought it was just a drunkard's joke. But then they took Esther.
Where will I find Rapiter?
He's usually wherever I am.
What does that mean?
He watches me. Everywhere I go. And when I'm at home, he sits on the bench in the square, watching my house.
So he's there now?
Hard to say. Sometimes I see him in the tavern on the green, buying supplies.
All right. At least I know where to start. And you go to work tomorrow, you hear?
Why?
Because we have to lure him out. And besides, your master will surely be glad to see you.
I have my doubts.
How did you hand over the punch die to them?
Rapiter waited for me behind the church. I didn't want to give it to them without seeing Esther first.
And did they let you?
Yes, although I don't really know why. They took me to a derelict farm in the Skalitz Hills. My poor Esther, they'd scared her half to death.
So at least you know she's alive.
Who knows? It was a while ago. And they never let her go, even after I did what they wanted. They said they'd be needing more.
More punch dies?
They wear out over time. They have to be replaced regularly.
Why didn't you tell anyone?
At first, I took it for a bad joke. And then, when they snatched Esther, there was nothing to be done.
I suppose I'd better go. I'd hate the bastard to get away.
Go. I hope you get revenge.
Но, если он за тобой наблюдает, будет не так-то и просто это сделать. Угу. А много подозрительные личности.
May the Lord watch over you, Henry.
Кто из вас самый подозрительный? Ты. Нет. О, вон тот мужик, бодро шагающий с мечом. Ну да, прикольно.
Are you Rapiter by any chance?
Pardon me? Do we know each other?
No, but I'm hoping to change that.
Well, I don't have much time right now. I'd best be off.
It'll only take a moment.
All right then. What do you want?
I know you buy quicksilver for those counterfeiters.
It seems there's no point making excuses.
None. Now tell me where their workshop is.
Of course, of course. That will be the best solution.
So?
Let's leave it for another time.
А чё так? Вот и побежал. Еще и так быстро. Охранник, ну помоги. Ага. Я-то пути срезать умею. А ты?
So, are you ready to talk?
I will. Just don't hurt me, please. What do you want from me?
Tell me where the workshop is. Don't worry. Your master won't be punishing you for betraying him. You're both going to have too many other problems.
It's in the Skullet's mines.
That doesn't narrow it down very much.
On the eastern side of Skullet's Hill, there's an abandoned mine gallery. Well, it used to be abandoned. Now there's a small camp in front of it, and the workshop is inside.
Who is your lord?
Sir Jezek of Ronov. That's what he calls himself, although Ronov Castle's long gone.
What happened to it?
Ronov used to belong to Vincent, Count Lichtenberg. After his death, it fell to Margrave Jobst, and he had it pulled down. He knew full well that Vincent's vassals would resist him.
Why? Everyone knows that when a lord dies without issue, the king can confer his estate on whoever he pleases.
But Vincent had descendants. Ronov only fell to the Margrave because he declared them all illegitimate. All because Vincent had refused to fight for him against Sir Prokop. Sir Jezek led a revolt of the vassals, but Jobst rounded them all up. Only Sir Jezek got away. Since then, he's become the scourge of the domain.
Who are you, anyway?
They call me Rapota. I used to be the executioner's henchman in Brno.
And how did you come to be serving Sir Jezek?
I helped him escape from prison. If I was going to serve anyone, better Sir Jezek than the executioner.
So you saw being a brigand's henchman as a step up in the world?
I thought if things changed and he stopped marauding, he might get Ronov back and take me into his service.
Well, after this little escapade, you can forget about that. You'll be lucky if you don't end up swinging on the gallows.
It's all the same anyway now. I've betrayed him.
So who's Sir Jezek working for? Don't tell me he just took it into his head one day to start forging coins.
That's not for me to know. Sir Jezek was on speaking terms with various lordships.
Such as?
We were often guests at the monastery, but I slept in the hayloft, so I heard nothing.
And apart from that?
In the camp, you'd occasionally see a Hungarian nobleman, but I don't know what he was doing there, or who he is.
I think I've heard enough.
Can I ask you something?
Yes?
I don't want to hang. It's a horrible death. I prefer you just kill me here and now.
An honourable death? No chance. It's the dungeons for you, and the sort of punishment a counterfeiter deserves. Don't worry. In time, you'll be glad of the gallows.
Только не говори, что я сейчас опять Ой. Поведу его в ротай. Не, здесь запер. Это, следи за ним. Итак. Заручись помощью Ульрика. Это случайно не те шахты, где мы с вами блуждали? Получается, что те. Так, ладно. У нас появилось немного свободного времени, так почему бы не заняться какой-то фигней?
Henry! God's sake.
Master Armourer, I have a message for you from Blacksmith Zach.
If it's another one of his so-called generous offers, you can go straight back and tell him I'm not selling, and that's that.
No, this is another matter. Vitus wants to challenge you to a duel.
What? Me fight with that brat? Zach must have lost his mind entirely.
That's not how it will be. The real duel will be between your pieces of handiwork.
How's that?
It will be a duel with bludgeons. No bloodshed. At most, a few bruises and some dents in the armor. Zach chose me to wear Vitus armor.
And so I'm to choose a champion of my own? That sounds reasonable.
Good. So let's agree on the time and place.
Hold your horses, young fella. I've got a counter offer for you. Now, I'm sure Zach is paying you well.
Maybe I'm just doing it out of love for my neighbour.
Aye, a regular good Samaritan, no doubt. I could pay you more. and I tailor-make a cuirass just for you. What do you say?
You mean if I fight as your champion instead? I'm not sure how Zack would take it.
No, no, you fight on Zack's side and lose.
That's not very honourable.
And Zack's constant slander and mudslinging are the height of honour, are they?
But what if Zack's right? You're not as young as you used to be, and Vitus has trained with renowned masters.
What? You're as impertinent as that bastard Zack and his whelp of a son. How dare you? I don't need help from the likes of you. You'll get such a battering even Brother Nicodemus from the monastery won't know which side of you is up. Now clear off.
Not until you tell me where and when we should meet.
I don't know. Sort it out with the bailiff. He should come anyway, so I don't get the blame when you get beaten to a pulp.
Ой, ты мне никогда не нравился. У тебя всегда был плохой набор брони. А еще денег постоянно не было. Фу. Плохой торговец. Так. А, вот ты. Стой, мужик.
I'm honored that you should come to me.
Круто.
I'm here on behalf of blacksmith Zack.
Zack? What does that madman want now? Don't tell me. It's another complaint about the Master Armorer. Well, you can tell Zack if you waste another minute of my time with that pathetic feud of his. I'll have him up for disrespecting the office of the bailiff.
No, it's not a complaint this time. In fact, Zack came up with an idea to settle the dispute once and for all.
Is that so? Well, that's a different kettle of fish. That's just what I was after. You have my full attention, friend. What's his plan?
A duel.
Jesus Christ! Has he lost his wits entirely?
Don't worry, Goodman Bailiff. No one will get killed. It will only be a duel with bludgeons. Zack chose me as his champion. I'll be wearing a suit of armour made by his son, Vitus, and I'll fight Otter's champion. Whoever falls first, loses.
That sounds like a fine spectacle for the village green. Naturally, I'll have to be present to ensure nothing untoward happens.
Your presence is certainly expected, Bailiff. We'd like you to referee the whole duel.
Very well. We'll have it on the marketplace in the front of the church. But when?
That's up to you.
We can announce it right now.
Let's do it.
I'll have it announced around town. You come along at just the right time. It'll be a fine show for the townsfolk, and I'll finally get that pair and their constant squabbling off my back.
Ну что, не опозорим честь тебя?
Good citizens of Sasau, our township has long been plagued by a protracted dispute. As you are no doubt aware, Zack, the blacksmith of the monastery courtyard, and Master Armourer Otto Rabstein have been, for some time, at odds.
А это честно, что он в шлеме, а?
And insomuch as it behoves my office as bailiff to settle such disputes and maintain peace and order, I have decided to resolve the blacksmith's quarrel by unconventional means, whilst affording an entertaining spectacle. In short, we shall let them knock each other's teeth out. However, since it ill befits two respectable tradesmen to maul each other on the market square like a pair of cocks on a dung heap, each of them has elected a champion. Zack, the blacksmith, has appointed to fight in his stead Henry of Scarlet. And Master Otto Rabstein's champion will be... Please, introduce yourself, Sir Knight.
Master Otter will fight for Master Otter. I don't need some young pup to take my place.
I remind you that this will be a duel with bludgeons alone. And until first blood is shed.
Ладно, давай его хорошенько так отмутужу, а?
Come, folks, be
Люди
sensible,
недовольны.
for heaven's sake. We don't want any maiming here, or, God forbid, murder. So, if both contestants are ready, let us begin.
Ну что ж, давай. Я готов. Ой, шлем. Ого. А доспехи, похоже, не такие хорошие, да, у него?
You fucked up there.
Защищайся ты.
Take that.
Глупый шлем, не видно нифига.
Yeah, well landed.
Так.
Here.
Ну немного ему осталось, да? О, бой был, бой прокачал, круто. И все? Ну и ладно. Зря он решил сам себя защищать, да? Все-таки он кузнец, а не воин. А я уже, так понимаю, довольно прославленный воин. Ну и чё ты? Давай, грузи. Эй. Ну. Ладно, о чем мы можем с вами поговорить еще, пока смотрим на этот замечательный черный экран с загрузкой. Сейчас мы побежим к нашему Якубовичу. Поговорим с ним, потом поговорим с Заком, а потом прямиком в шахту.
You kicked that old bastard's ass, Henry. His ears will be ringing for a month. Now everyone will see who knows how to make armor and who's all hot air.
You shouldn't speak so disrespectfully about Master Otter. He fought bravely.
No need to get worked up about it. You've got to savor the victory, haven't you? Anyway, come by the forge later for your reward.
All right?
И чё? Ну конечно, как снять с меня все доспехи, так вы первые. А обратно кто одевать все это будет? Так. Ого. Это тоже мое. Они лишние. Вот куртка моя. Наложить, наложить, наложить.
What the hell are you doing?
Ну, попозже так попозже. Значит, по возвращению в Сазаву. Итак, бежим к нашему Якубовичу. Принесем ему с сектора приз. В виде расположения... Наш Индрих врезался в дом. Серьезно. Кто тебе коня учил водить? А, ну да, это же я тобой управляю. А меня никто не учил водить коня. Ну, значит, все нормально.
I finally found out where the Forger's workshop is. Master Fayfar was right. The Forgers are sticking close to the supply source. Their workshop is somewhere in the mines. The entrance is on the eastern side of the hill. I've no idea what to expect there, but I'd rather go there with some backup.
I will be glad to give it. Lead on.
Нас туда перемещает, да, судя по умению? Где я? Ну, вперед. Надо на всякий случай сразу сохраниться, да? О, явство прокачалось. Так, работа говорил, тут должен быть лагерь. Найди вход в штольню. А, вот.
What's going on there?
Hey,
What's
Raise
that?
the alarm!
Watch out! Just when I wanted to vent my rage.
Is that
on
all
someone.
you've got?
Fuck.
Так, стоп. Стоп. Отойди. Так, где мой
Але до пределе!
What have we got here? Entertainment. Great. Over here. Where is everyone? Quick.
No, no.
О! Пулеров, ты все равно до сих пор не справился с ними. Вот смотри, учись у меня.
Not so brave now, are you?
Вот. И легко все. Ты что, с ними тут танцуешь? Ладно. Думаю, ничего интересного мы у них не подберем. Хитрости у меня дофига. Ой. О. А, ну да, конечно, решил я почитать тут в темноте. Удери их. Ты чего? Ой, я могу его обокрасть. Так, я вспоминаю размер этих шахт. Серьезно, нам сейчас где-то тут искать их? Я надеюсь, ты знаешь, куда бежишь. Так. О, голоса. А, тут же стрелочки, да, были?
Jesus Christ. Who are you and what are you doing here?
I'm here at the command of the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kabila.
And who's he?
That's no concern of yours.
I'm sure we could come to some sort of agreement. I have plenty of coin.
We can come to an agreement that you'll keep your mouth shut. Please, don't take this personally.
Wait!
What? Do you want to do it? Be my guest. It gives me no pleasure.
You can't kill him. I have orders to take him to Ratai.
That is unfortunate. I have orders to kill everyone involved in this business.
You can't do that.
I have no choice, as you are aware.
А, Якубович, мы это уже проверяли. Давай мы не будем драться здесь.
Why do you want to kill him? He may have valuable information.
For that exact reason. My master does not wish this man to fall into the wrong hands, especially those of Radzik Kobila.
You can tell your lord the man is dead. He'll never find out.
But he will. Or do you think you can lock this man away from sight until Judgment Day?
Why not?
Do not be naive, boy. Look around you. This land swarms with rats and snakes, especially now. There is no secret that is not for sale. If I let you have him, my own head will be on a spike before the month is out.
Ого!
You don't have to go back to the Rosenbergs.
How do you know about the Rosenbergs?
Master Fayfire recognized the writing on your letter of passage.
Just as I said, there is nothing safe from prying eyes in this land. And where would you suggest I go?
Into Sir Radzig's service. He needs people like you.
I serve Kubila. Out of the question. If he learned of all that I did for the Rosenbergs, he would hang me from the nearest tree. But you are right, I do not have to return to the Rosenbergs. In fact, I cannot.
Why not?
I am a knight without a crest, without allegiance. No one was meant to know whom I serve. If the Rosenbergs hear that I have been found out, they will see to it I vanish. They cannot afford to be associated with me.
Where will you go then?
Where the road takes me, as I have many times before. Farewell, Henry.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Ну, а вы кто? Куда? Ладно, пофиг на вас.
Please, please, I'm sure we can come to some sort of agreement.
You can talk all you like, but not here and not to me. Let's go. Let's go. Master Fayfire is very keen to meet you.
Но это было легко.
Good work, Henry.
Thank you, Master Fayfire. It wasn't easy, I can tell you.
Но я только
I'll take
сказал, что
some
было
men and have
легко.
a
Ну
good
не
look
подставляй
around
меня, такая.
And what should I do?
You should get some rest and go to Rate. In the meantime, Sir Radzig will have this wretch questioned. Maybe he'll get something useful out of him.
All right. I'll see you in Ratai then.
А вы уверены, что двух стражников хватит, чтобы его перевести, а? Тут на дороге всякое случается. Я бы особо не доверял двум стражникам. Ой, я снова в центре города. И я с факелом. Так. И чё, у нас теперь кузнец поменялся, ну, точнее бронник. Как-то изменилось. А он теперь закрыт. Где? Что, купить что-то решил? Или ты решил стать продавцом, а лошадь? Лошадь за прилавком. Мне кажется, на этом можно было бы заработать. Хотя, мне-то зарабатывать зачем? Денег пруд-пруди. Уже даже все рецепты куплены. Я могу заплатить врата и стражникам, чтобы они меня резко полюбили? Это было бы здорово. Так сказать, не знаю, на новые доспехи. Они, похоже, так все в моих доспехах ходят, которые я попритаскивал в город.
God, you look terrible. Did someone attack you?
Это-то я напал.
I'll come for my reward.
Of course. And thanks again, lad. It's worked wonders for my trade.
And will Otter sell you his business?
I don't know, but the way things are looking now, his trade will soon be dead as a doornail anyway.
You told me I'd get that kiras made by Vitus and a few groschen on top.
I did. And I'm a man of my word. Here you are.
Thanks.
О, ремонт. Вот. И что он нам дал? Панцирь Вита. Стоит неплохо, по крайней мере. Но дает гораздо меньше доспеха, чем то, что у нас уже есть. Поэтому делали мы это просто так. Ну, это нормально. Так, в мрахоедах до сих пор не говорят нам возвращаться, значит идем в Ратай. Что еще? Сейчас мы по пути нарвемся на разграбленную повозку неожиданно, да? С двумя трупами стражников. Нет? Странно. Так. Чего ворованного у меня с собой не было. Значит, можно не бояться заходить в город. Я справился с фальшивомонетчиками, может, меня они опять полюбят? Но вдруг? Я же такой хороший. Я думаю, а где он же сидит-то, наш пан? А он в другой стороне.
Good day, Henry.
Так, мы выбираем этаж. Эники, бенники, ели вареники. Ладно, второй. Значит, третий. А, вот ты где. Стой. Опа.
There's the man. Good work, Henry.
Я знаю.
I tell you to take a well-earned rest, but unfortunately I need one more thing from you.
Еще одно.
Jezek refuses to talk to us. The stubborn bastard's asking to see you.
Me?
Indeed. Normally I'd send for Captain Burner to beat it out of him, but then I told myself that if he's so keen to speak to you...
I'll try to get something out of him. Where is he?
He's locked up in the tower. Bernard will give you the key.
Very well, sir.
А Бернарду обязательно идти? Похоже, обязательно. Ладно. Странное место меня буква А ведет. Ража, не останавливай меня. У меня все в порядке. Можете не беспокоиться. Это говорю вам я, самый честный Индра. Хоть вы так и не считаете. Ты чё, уже спишь?
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
Ой, да ладно.
I need the key to Yezhek's cell.
So Sir Radzig let him have his way in the end. He should have let me beat some answers out of him.
Don't take it that way. He probably wants to talk to me because he reckons he can hoodwink me. But that's where he's wrong.
Just try not to mess it up. Here's that key.
Thanks.
Ну, самое плохое, что я могу с ним сделать, это ножом его пырнуть. Блин, где выход? Ага. Но я постараюсь так не делать. Ясно? Если, конечно, кат-сцена не скажет мне это сделать. Ну. Кстати, насчет репутации. О, общий. Мы можем... Так. Но... Ладно, давайте возьмем созерцатель. Нам, в принципе, больше ничего не надо. Ах, да, я же хотел посмотреть на репутацию. Протай. Не, нифига. Ну и фиг с вами. Ходишь тут, бродишь, помогаешь им. Я куда? Воу. Итак, куда мы, блин, забрались? Он точно сказал про вершину башни. По-моему, это вот эта вот шняга. Я не вижу пока способов, как мне пройти вон туда. Поэтому сначала проверю вот это место. И если это не сработает, тогда ладно. Блин, как много тут стражников гуляет. Потому что вы двигаться не хотите. А ну, шевелись, плотва. Я на частной территории.
the hell are you fooling about here for? Be off now, or I'll fucking see you off.
Что мне говорит задание? Допроси ежика. О!
What is it?
Ну так пустите меня. Как вас много. Вы что, боитесь, что я что-нибудь украду? Ладно. Идем туда. Заодно съедим что-нибудь из котелка. Давай, пока не стемнело. А я же знаю, у них тюрьма. А? Да? А что, я сразу сюда не пошел? А, ну и ладно. Давайте факел, чтоб мы лучше видели этого мерзавца.
Well, finally, I've had quite a wait.
Why do you want to talk to me, of all people?
You brought me here. You should consider it an honor.
If hanging around in a damp dungeon with a condemned man is your idea of honor...
You're not seeing the bright side. You can be the one who uncovers a conspiracy against the king for your master. You don't get an opportunity like that every day. It did cross my mind, though, that it might be nice to get some assurances for my cooperation. After all, I'm the one the Margrave unjustly declared the scourge of the land and expelled from Moravia. They even pulled my beautiful castle down. It was the necessity of making a living that
Чувак,
forced me
у
to
твоей
take some
тени нет
liberties.
глаз иногда. Ты меня пугаешь.
Do you really want to question the authority of the Margrave?
I've always been loyal to the crown, but what can I do when the Margrave stole my fief?
That's not why we're here. I don't care about your conflict with the Margrave. It's your crimes against the king I'm worried about. The king you say you've always been so loyal to.
Very well, ask me anything you want. I won't be
Вот опять.
obstructive.
What I want to know most of all is who's behind it. Who are you making those forgeries for?
Do you think I couldn't have handled it all myself?
I'm not trying to insult you. It's just not a job one man could do alone.
All right, the way it began was I was short of coin, as usual. So I let those crimps in Sasau recruit me.
Recruit you into what?
I didn't inquire too much. In this business, you don't ask too many questions. But when they found out I wasn't just anybody, they put me in charge of the counterfeiting. A foreigner by the name of Eric gave me instructions. But for sure, he isn't the chief. And there's someone highly placed at the monastery who's mixed up in it too. But I don't know who.
How did you come to hear of all this business?
I met some old friends in Colleen a few months ago, and they said they were heading for Sasau, that armed men were being recruited, and they'll hire anyone.
Old friends? Who were they?
Just a couple of brigands. We used to ambush the Margrave's messengers in Moravia together.
Nice friends you keep.
I was in dispute with the Margrave. A man in my position finds himself mixed up with all sorts.
And then what?
Rapota and I had been living off stale crusts for a month, so I wasn't going to turn down the chance of work, honest or otherwise. We rode to Sasau and met with the recruiters. It didn't take long to realize I was a nobleman fallen on hard times, not some common peasant.
Can you get to the point?
Well, they introduced me to this Eric, and he told me what was needed. They set up the workshop, got the men, the supplies, everything.
This Eric, you reckon he's not the one in charge?
He puts on airs, but he's just a naive young pup. And he's always going on about his lord, though he never mentioned him by name.
Where can I find this Eric? You must have had some meeting place.
He used to come to the workshop unannounced, and after what's happened, I doubt he'll be showing his face there again.
Crimps? You're telling me this Eric is recruiting armed men in Sasau?
Well, it seems so. I was giving the recruiters some of the coins to do it. The fake ones, of course.
Where can I find the recruiting gang?
That's tricky. It was my friends who led me to them. We met with them in the woods next to Sasau. It's about who you know, as always.
You said you gave them money. Where was that?
They'd ride to the mine gallery to see me. I don't suppose you'd find them there now.
If you say so. This highly placed person at the monastery, what can you tell me about him?
I've no idea who he is, only that he's no small fry. After all, he handles the exchange of the forgeries in Passau.
I see. Is there anything else at all you can tell me about him?
No, he was supposed to supply me with materials too, but he backed out. Eric said he probably got cold feet.
That'll do me for the moment.
Will you put in a word for me with Sir Radzig? I'll swear allegiance to him if he'll have me. I'm sick of being a renegade.
Ты думаешь, тебе поверят?
I'll have to think about it. I don't want to annoy Sir Radzig.
Иди здесь. Ну что, я думаю, на этом можно закончить. Так сказать, начали в тюрьме, закончили в тюрьме, да? Тем более я не хочу сейчас проходить через вот этого вот стражника, довольно интересного. О, улетел. А на этом на сегодня все. Спасибо, что смотрели меня. Обязательно подписывайтесь, чтобы ничего не пропустить. Лайки ставьте, чтобы порадовать меня. До новых встреч. Всем пока.